as Ramadan begins, are there any healthy precautions that go along with it? Joining me now is TRT World Health Correspondent Nicola here live from London. Great to see you, Nicola. So how can Muslims stay healthy during Ramadan under lockdown?
Well, the advice from the World Health Authority for Muslims is actually very similar in the wider sense as it is for everybody else, which is to keep social distancing and to ensure that they physically don't hug people. Instead, use the culturally sensitive greetings such as hands on the heart, waving, or simply nodding to people. The main concern of people at the moment is what happens during the period of fasting between sunrise and sunset. I was speaking to Dr. Tamzil Awan, who is a Muslim primary care physician here in the UK, and he's urging his patients and fellow Muslims to adapt a very low threshold for breaking the fast this year. He said that in the past he's had 75-year-old patients who maybe have diabetes and they insist on fasting from sunrise to sunset. But he says that shouldn't happen this year. The high-risk patients, those who have diabetes, who have COPD, who have asthma, who have high blood pressure, and who have other respiratory illnesses, are those who are really at risk of having severe COVID-19 and even dying from the disease. So he's saying that this year they should think very carefully and they should break the fast if necessary. This is being supported by the Muslim Council of Britain, who's saying the same thing. And also they're giving advice to those frontline healthcare workers, the ones who are in the full PPE and wearing those masks, which we have been hearing are very dehydrating, they're very hot. Now, the Muslim Council of Britain and doctors like Dr. Awan are saying that in these instances, these very different circumstances from other Ramadans, it's okay for these health workers to break their fast to ensure that they are not putting themselves at greater risk or possibly making clerical errors when dealing with patients. And we've also got immunologists saying that when people do eat, when they do eat between sunset and sunrise, to make sure that they're eating very healthily, to make sure that they're having the necessary macronutrients, these are our carbohydrates, fats and proteins, and the micronutrients, the vitamins and the minerals, so that that can sustain them during the day when they are fasting. Because the main thing is that you want to keep an energy balance in the body, I've been told, to support the immune system and to potentially fight off any infection.
And Nicola, what about mental health?
That's obviously something that we're all definitely dealing with at the moment, is how to stay mentally and emotionally strong, and particularly at a time when you ordinarily during Ramadan would be getting together with family, you would be having community meals, community prayers. Now, this is something that both the WHO, the Muslim Council, and as I said to Dr. Awan I was speaking to this morning, say that if people can still join in virtually, a lot of prayers are being streamed, if they can have communal get-togethers. One of the suggestions that Dr. Awan is giving to his patients is for them to have dinner together via systems such as we're communicating with here, via the Zoom, the Skype, or any virtual platform that's possible. If people can still sit together, that actually will make them feel better because they're still connecting, there's still that community spirit. And also to continue to exercise, but to be cautious about this because they don't want to exercise to an extent that they start sweating and become dehydrated during the day. And this hydration is so important because you need to have this hydration in the mucus of the mouth and the nose to prevent the infection, because this works in a way of preventing infection coming in. So, of course, exercise makes us feel good. If they're able to virtually connect with people, that can improve that feeling of being part of a community, which is so important for Muslims during Ramadan.
That's such a beautiful idea to have a meal through Zoom. Nicola Hale, thank you so much for all that great information.